What's going on with y'all today? Today's video is going to be telling you how what team to run in triple threat online if you want to win more games. The best cards run, cheap cards. Um, so the type of cards I like to run is two-way players. So go for tall two-way players. There's a lot of cheap two-way players that you can go for. So like I said, I like to run tall players with long wingspans and have a tall player that can handle the ball, and then a good solid big that can shoot. You see right here, in my triple threat online, I run these three cards, and it's very affordable. These cards aren't expensive. The only one that's somewhat expensive is DeMar DeRozan. He's going for like 130K. But him, I think he's going for like 20K, and Hedo's probably like 30K. Another thing too, just to save yourself some MT, if you don't really care for unlimited, sell all your cards and just keep three. That's what I do. I sell all my cards and only keep three of them. I keep these three, Hedo, DeMar, and DeAndre Ayton, because I don't play triple threat. I mean, my team unlimited. The rewards aren't that nice to me, so as of right now, I don't have a full team. I just use these three teams and play triple threat online. Triple threat online too, you can get a lot of MT, a lot of tokens. I have 487 tokens right now, and about probably a little bit over half those tokens are from playing triple threat. Another thing too, alright, so I'm gonna be showing you some cheap cards. One of them being Andre Roberson. He's real cheap. You want to go for cards. The main badge that you want on these cards is clamps. Clamps is a real good badge that forces the ball handler to pick up the dribble. So you definitely want, that's the number one badge. I always want my cards to have clamps. It would be clamps. Pickpocket is a cool one. Interceptor badges like that. Pick dodger. Not too many people run screens, but when they do, that's a good badge to have. So we're going to look at this Andre Roberson. He's 6'7". He's very cheap. Now you see his defense, you might look at his attributes and be like, oh, they're only 86. It's nothing really crazy. But the attributes never really matter too much. It's always the badges. So you see he's got clamps, defensive leader, interceptor. Intimidator is another very good badge that makes them miss more, having intimidator. So it's like you see he has all these good defensive badges, and then he doesn't have any shooting badges really, so that might hurt you, but his 3 is an 88. He's got a solid drive and dunk. He might be able to speed boost if you throw a shoe on him. So he might be a tall player that can, I don't know what his animations are, I haven't played with him, but he looks like a pretty solid player. Like if you're really struggling and down bad, this is a card to pick up. He's super cheap. Tony Allen is another super cheap card. The only thing is he's short. I like taller players. But even Tony Allen is another good pickup, because even though he's short, he's 6'4". Most of the time, you're not really playing tall players anyways, and even if you are, he's got Clamps, Hall of Fame, Pickpocket. He's got a lot of good badges. His steal is super high too. I think it's like 96 and 97 perimeter defense. So you see, this Tony Allen's good on defense. Another card too cheap is Marcus Morris, where Marcus Morris can't really do much. He can't dribble, but he's more of like a pick and pop, catch and shoot type of player. But he does have clamps. You see, let's look at his badges. And his 3 is a 93. That's another good thing. But he is 6'9", and he has good defensive badges. And then this Hedo, he's real cheap. And another thing too, you might look at his defensive stats and be like, oh, his steal's only 84. It's not that high. It's not about the attributes all that much, really. It's just the badges is really important. So you see, he's got range extender, Hall of Fame. He's 6'10". He's got good finishing badges too. He's got clamps, interceptor, intimidator, which is good, like I stated before. Now the 3, when you're picking cards too, like I said, you want two-way players. So the 3 most important finishing badges is contact finisher, slithery, and fancy footwork. Slithery is going to allow you to get those animations where your layups are going to be like 10% contested. You know, you ever been playing on like a new player or playing with cards in my team, and you go for a layup and the big man is just swatting you or putting you in these animations, and you're wondering like, how am I getting put in animations like this? Slithery finisher, it won't allow them to put you in those animations. Fancy footwork, that kind of like stuns the defender when you're doing hop steps. So these 3 badges together, it's like contact finisher allows you to finish through contact, get contact dunks. Fancy footwork, like I just said, is going to allow you to hop right through them, and slithery finisher is going to make it so they can't really contest your shots. So you want to have these 3 badges on whatever players you pick, unless you just intend for them to be catch and shoot players. The good shooting badges, there's a lot of them. Quick draw, range extender, green machine badges like that. You're going to have those shooting badges on your players. Quick draw, range extender being the most important ones. And DeMar DeRozan, if you can afford him, he's very good. He's got a 97 mid, 93 open shot, 397 driving dunk, 86 ball control. He's kind of like that Vince Carter, but better. He's got an 86 steal. His badges, he's got a lot of good badges. He's got, I'm pretty sure all those 3 badges I named, he has them Hall of Fame, or he's got 2 of them. He's got contact finisher Hall of Fame and fancy footwork, and I know he has silver finisher gold. So he's got 2 out of the 3 most important badges Hall of Fame. He's got clamps gold. So you see he has a lot of good badges, a lot of good shooting badges, range extender. So if you can pick up a player like him, Jaylen Brown's another good player. Players like that, Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, I used to have him. Jimmy Butler's real good. And a lot of these cards are cheap. If you can too, get Giannis. Giannis is very good. The Giannis is insane. He can guard any position. I think that's really it for this video. That's all it really is to it. Is just picking 2-way cards. I named a couple of cheap players. Josh Richardson's another cheap one. So you can just search through the auction house, and a lot of the newer cards that come out, like as time goes on, we're gonna be getting Ruby cards. Eventually, we're gonna have Ruby cards with Hall of Fame badges, and it's just gonna keep getting cheaper and cheaper. So I already showed you a couple of the cheap cards. Let's look through some of these packs. None of these players are really nice. But in the New Year's resolution, like I said, if you can afford them, Hito's good, DeAndre Ayton, Tony Allen, cards like that. I don't think Markelle Fultz has clamps, but just go, like I've been saying, just go with 2-way players. Another thing too, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but if you want to match up against cards, against lower tier cards, get all bronze everything in your team, all bronze. Now you see my coach is silver, that's because I was selling my coaches, but you want a bronze coach too, all bronze everything, and set it as your active lineup. And then when you go into triple threat, most of the time, especially if you're running like rubies and amethysts, you'll be matched up against the same tier cards, lower tier cards. There's been times where I was playing with my pink diamonds and diamond cards, and they've been matched up against ruby and lower tier cards running this all bronze lineup. And I notice whenever I go with my actual team with the amethyst coach and stuff and my actual diamond players, there's been a lot of times where I've been matched up against cheesy teams. And that DeAndre Ayton card too, I would definitely use him. He's real cheap. He can guard bigs. I've played good defense against the Galaxy over David Robinson with him. So that's really it. That's all I just want to let you guys know. For a good team, like I've been saying, get 2-way players. Whether it be cheap or expensive, just get 2-way players with those 3 important finishing badges that I named, and you should be all set. The games that you play should be pretty easy to win. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.